The Constitution itself consists of a preamble and 11 articles, and I'm going to break down each one of the articles tonight with the highlights of each one of those. So again, if you have a question as to how we reached a decision or as to how we got to that point, I'll be glad to answer that for you. Also, I'm a little bit hoarse, so I'm going to be taking water breaks. Our preamble states that we, the people of Franklin County, Missouri, establish and adopt this Constitution as the fundamental law of county government for the purpose of securing the benefits of home rule and greater self-determination, and perfecting the structure of government to ensure that it is just, orderly, efficient, and responsible to the people. Something that has come out often is, what does home rule actually mean? What does that mean for us? Currently, if the citizens of Franklin County decide that we have an issue with whatever it might be, maybe it's give me an issue that we need. Abandoned buildings. Okay, we're overrun with abandoned buildings, burned out buildings, things of that nature. We can only address those issues based on what the state statute allows us to address those issues. If we want to, I'll give you another example. Let's say everybody's grass is too tall, for example. I'll give you a city ordinance example. The city ordinance says you can't have your grass over 3 feet tall or whatever it is. If that's the case in Franklin County right now, we can't do anything about that because the state says we have to go through state legislature and pass a state law. So what ultimately happens is Franklin County representative or state senator will propose legislation that will allow Franklin County to create an ordinance. But that ordinance affects all of the other first-class counties across the state of Missouri. So essentially, it may not be a need for Jackson County or Clay County or Boone County, but those people are still voting on, and all the representatives in the third and fourth class counties are voting on the needs of Franklin County. Under a home rule form of government, we are allowed to work within our Constitution and form our own laws and our own ordinances that meet the needs of Franklin County. The people of Franklin County make the decisions on what's best for Franklin County. We no longer have to rely on the rest of the state to decide what's best for Franklin County. So that's kind of how home rule works. Article 1 of the Constitution covers a lot of the basics. It covers the name of the county is going to remain Franklin County. The boundaries in the county seat are going to remain as they are. There will be no powers over entities such as school districts, cities, towns, and villages that are not currently allowed by state law. There will be no tax increase that is not authorized by the state constitution, state statute, or by Franklin County voter approval. The county shall have all the powers that are granted to it by state statute. As I stated, state statute covers first-class counties, and it says what a first-class county can do. There's also a state statute that covers what first-class counties with a charter form of government can do. So we cannot do anything that the state constitution or the United States Constitution will not govern us to do or allow us to do. And also in Article 1, there's a definition of terms requiring any additional explanation. Again, we wanted to prepare for the future. We did not want this document to be something that was outdated in a few years, but also we didn't want anybody to have to try to interpret or try to guess what our intent was. You'll hear many times what was the intent of the forefathers when they drafted our United States Constitution. We wanted to make sure that we had a clear understanding of what our intent as a commission was for this document, and we also included the definition of terms in case there was any question. Article 2 of the Constitution establishes a legislative branch of government. You will quickly see through this presentation that as we stand now, we have 3 commissioners that take care of all branches of government for Franklin County. The system of government that this Constitution supports and proposes is the 3 branches of government essentially. Within this Constitution, we established 2 of those branches, and we're going to leave the 3rd branch up to the citizens, and we're going to talk about that shortly. In Article 2, we establish a legislative branch of government. The legislative branch of government is composed of 7 council members. They serve 4-year terms, and they're a resident of 7 districts, and I'll show you the districts shortly. We establish the salaries for these council members at $10,000 each. I'll tell you that these are part-time positions, similar to an alderman or a councilman, if you will. We identified the powers of the county council. We identified the power for the county council to establish a county judicial branch. This is the third branch of government that we are going to leave up to the council to decide if and when this branch of government is necessary for Franklin County. And we also gave them the power to eliminate the auditor's treasurer's position. I'm going to talk about those powers for a moment. We worked hard as a Constitution Commission to try to decide how to handle these two issues because there were a couple of hot topics, and there was a lot of support in a lot of areas. I will tell you, almost across the board, until after the document is finalized, I do not recall hearing any negative or any opposition to eliminating the auditor and treasurer's positions. I've heard it now, but not prior to finalizing this document. The auditor and treasurer's positions, we felt, are elected positions now, as state statute allows them to be. We felt we were an appointed board. We're a 14-member appointed board. Our county council, they will be elected by the people. So we felt that we would allow those council members to decide if and when those positions should be eliminated because they are direct representation of the people. We as an appointed board are not. We were very open to what the public said, but we're not held accountable by the public, if you will. Same way with the county judicial branch, establishing a judicial branch of government. I'll speak for myself, I shouldn't say we, but myself, I believe Franklin County needs a judicial branch of government. I believe it's justified, and I believe that a lot of the things you're hearing now about the judicial branch of government are false and can easily be proven false. However, with that being said, we wanted to again allow the elected council to decide that, not us as an appointed commission. So that's how we took that position, or why we took that position. Also in Article 2, we give the County Council the power to establish laws, ordinances, bills, and resolutions. They are acting as the lawmaking body of our government. We established the county chairman and how they will preside over meetings. We established that there will be a minimum of 2 meetings per month. We anticipate there will be more than that, especially early on, but require them to meet a minimum of twice a month. We established their meeting procedures and also how to fill any vacancy of any county council seats. We established the 7 voting districts, and those were done by population. State statute required us to we looked at 3 districts, we looked at 5, 7, 9. Obviously we wanted an odd number to prevent ties if at all possible. We felt that 7 provided the best representation to the county. There's a lot of areas of this county that we were getting feedback that are not sufficiently represented under our 3-commissioner system. We decided 7 districts would provide better representation to the county as a whole. So what we essentially did is took the population of the county, divided it by 7, and then we had to form districts within plus or minus 5% of that number, as we were required to do by statute. What we also did is we established these districts based on townships and precincts, which allows for easy voting and lack of, there's no potential there for somebody getting the wrong ballot, if you will, during the election process. We established procedures for redistricting the county every 10 years based on Census Bureau information. So this is something that will continually be updated as the county and the population continues to grow. So that there will not be a district that has 20,000 people and another district that has 10. They will be redistricted every 10 years. We established prohibitions by council members that kind of says what they can't do. They can't be a city councilman and a county council person, that type of thing. Different prohibitions. And we established the power to override an executive veto within Article 2. These are the 7 proposed council districts. I think our average population was around 13,000 that we had to hit, somewhere right around 13,000. As it stood now, we had a commissioner representing 49,000, another one representing 49,000, and we tried to, or 47, whatever it was, and we thought with the 7 districts getting it closer to 13,000 was a lot better representation of the county. You'll notice that some of the districts have significant landmass compared to others. District 1, for example. When you get out in northwestern Franklin County, it's very sparsely populated. So to get 13,000 people, you have to increase your landmass. If you look at City of Washington, it's a district by itself because it makes up 13,000 people.